I don't think
recently,
this is it.
and I don't. I was just like, that's not
I hope this isn't it.
like you gotta stay.
I think it's like a horror movie or something.
that serious movie. He's like either he's the serial killer or he's like the cop investigating it. I don't know, but I'm like, I don't like that's not the role.
Stay in your lane, Kevin James.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't like saying "stay in your lane" too often, but that time, yeah, definitely stay in your lane.
I don't know if it's very rare these days to see anybody who's like in the Adam Sandler circle of.
Apparently, he plays a violent neo-Nazi.
Yes, that's what it was. That's right.
Yikes.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
Becky,
you know how,
right? Is it Becky that when we're talking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you can
Plays Dominic with a K.
Yeah, like you can stray a little bit, you know, like to be like, okay, I'm gonna be instead of being, you know, fat cop or fat mall cop or fat NASCAR driver to being like fat comedy relief.
I feel like you need a transition role to get yourself to the neo.
Yeah, you can't just jump from like one side of the spectrum to the other.
Yeah.
Especially
now, if he was,
when the other side is
fat
neo-Nazi. Yeah.
If he was fat neo-Nazi, would it be okay?
Then we'd have something.
No, I mean, unless you're making jokes. Like,
Paul
I think
Blart,
that's...
the Third Reich.
Paul Blart, neo-Nazi.
Welcome to Open Dollar.
We have written the third installment.
Oh, God.
So Becky, a teenager's weekend at a lake house with her father, takes a turn for the worse when a group of convicts wreaks havoc on their lives. Kevin James is
Becky.
in the Hey, Joel McHale's in it too.
What?
I mean, I find that less surprising than Kevin James.
Yeah, definitely less surprising, but like not unsurprising.
Yeah. We try not to sexualize Kevin James.
This isn't gender swap. This isn't Vince Vaughn's forte. I saw he was Kevin James again was giving a interview on Good Morning America. He was bored on his YouTube channel. He did like a faux like nature documentary thing where he's like this fake. He's just wearing like this gray suit. He says he's some sort of animal, but like Adam Sandler does like the narration. I haven't checked it out yet, but the little clip they showed seemed kind of funny.
Okay, but it's a comedy. It's like a parody.
Yeah, it's him in a furry costume, out in the bush, acting like he's caught on camera animals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the crew, Kevin James, bald Kevin James too.
Ooh. I think he's also
NASCAR crew chief.
Bald with face tattoos in this Becky movie. Or maybe not face tattoos, neck tattoos.
So he's picking a new lane. Bald.
Bald instead of fat.
No, he's still fat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's just adding to his lanes.
Yeah.
He's building a freeway.
Yeah. One of those 4-lane superhighways.
He's going for the trifecta. Bald, fat, and not funny. Hey, hello.
He's already... Oh, yeah, he's there.
Bald, fat, not funny. When did he stop being funny?
Anything like post King of Queens. Really.
I was just gonna say, King of Queens. I think Paul Blart was when it all happened.
Yeah. I guess getting in the Adam Sandler paycheck films, right? Where you don't really have to try. You just show up.
I did like the one that he was in. Was it with Adam Sandler that they have to pretend to be gay to get benefits or something?
Chuck and Larry.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
That
masterpiece of comedic gold.
Yeah. I think it's in the National Museum, the Congress, National Library. There's a Criterion collection of that one.
Oh man, that one wasn't terrible. It had some fun lines in it, but I mean, you could say that about every Adam Sandler movie.
The DVD of that, but I think I've only ever seen it one time.
Honestly, I
revisited that one.
I say that, but the only kind of scene I remember is when they're playing basketball and he keeps like throwing it up in like white chocolate, and like he's just terrible at basketball.
The Michael Scott.
Yeah,
version.
catch you on the flippity flu. But I'm like, that's really the only scene of the movie that I remember. But that part was funny to me.
Like, it's funny, like, you have Adam Sandler and his crew that were on SNL, but I find, like, the Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, like, his crew of folks are a lot funnier and did far better movies.
Yeah, well, their movies in general were great, but I think the thing with Adam Sandler is like, no matter how bad the movie is, there's always like one or two lines that are very memorable and hilarious. Like,
without going the Billy Madison Happy Gilmore route.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta find some movies because I'm like,
Big Daddy, Scuba Steve.
Yeah, like there's enough. But yeah, definitely like the Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, those like their movies were definitely funnier.
I messaged you, Ryan, was it 2 nights ago? Dodgeball was on.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. I'm awful at
The hell you didn't see it, man? You were messaging back with me with gifts from Dodgeball.
Oh, was I? Oh, man.
Yeah, you were.
Where have I been?
Jeez.
I'm gonna have to go back and consult the records on that one. Boy,
Clearly,
oh
our conversations mean a lot to him.
quarantine is taking its toll. Oh, right, I remember because I sent you the bold strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's coming. It's coming back.
Jason,
Yeah, it's coming back now.
That's really all it was. I think I sent you the one other Jason Bateman funny line from it, and then you sent the other one, and then we just moved on with our day.
F&A, Cotton, F&A.
F&A. Oh yeah, you usually have to pay double for that kind of action, Cotton.
That was it. Yeah. I mean, arguably Jason Bateman's best role.
I don't know, Teen Wolf 2.
Oh yeah. I gotta give it a rest. It's dues.
Still have not seen Arrested Development.
Yeah, I'm an Arrested Development guy. That's definitely his best role.
Like, I think we talked about before. Someone said you should watch this, and I refused.
Yeah,
I don't like people telling me it's gonna be funny. Or you should see this; it's so good. You set the bar too high.
People say that about Game of Thrones. I feel like too many people have hyped it up to me at this point that I just
Breaking
can never
Bad
watch it. Yeah, I can never watch it now and be like, okay.
So, okay, question. Let's say, all right, so a bunch of people are like, oh, you got to watch Game of Thrones. It's so good. It's so good. But then let's say you get just a big group of people that are like, Corey, Ryan, do not ever watch Game of Thrones. It is so terrible.
I think it would it'd be like a little bit of reverse psychology where I'd have to watch it at that point.
You would have to watch it just to see if it's terrible, or be like, oh man, if people are saying it's bad, it's probably really bad.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker
for that. Yeah, I'm a sucker for that. If somebody told me Game of Thrones was like legit terrible, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Are you also one of those people that if someone is like, they take a bite out of something and they're like, oh, this is terrible, try
this, yeah, and then totally.
See, I'm definitely no. Why would I try that?
Same rule applies. Oh, this tastes like piss. Fucking take a sip of this.
You're like, okay.
Dude, my God, dude, you're totally right. Yeah.
Oh.
And then I'd come in and say,
how
did the two of you know what piss tastes like?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. This is why you're the smart one of the group, Core.
Just sitting here going, you know what? I don't know what piss like. And oh God.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what piss tastes like, and I don't want to know. I was just so blown away by that I couldn't even get it out. I saw a bunch of those ads for Shaw Academy. I don't know if you've seen these popping up on social and stuff like this, offering free courses.
Yeah.
So I looked into it because it says you get free courses for 4 weeks and get a diploma. I'm like, all right. So start going through like the registration just to see how, like, if you get any more details to find out if after 4 weeks you do get one. Turns out you don't. But because I started down that road, I didn't want to go down that road. I have been bombarded with emails and phone calls.
Oh, phone calls too?
With just pushy salesmen trying to get me to continue. And I talked to one guy and I just said, I'm not interested. You said it was free. You're asking for my credit card. I don't want to give it to you. He asked me if I had PayPal. I said no. And he started going with a further sales pitch. He said, I'm not interested, and hung up. And then I got an email saying, hi, Corey. It was lovely to speak with you earlier today. Gives me his name again. Then he gives me his name, and then he says, I rang you up to help you complete your registration. However, at the time, you told me it was not convenient for you to do so. Like, that's not what I said. So he says, don't worry. You can still complete this process yourself by clicking the link below. There's also a special gift to help me achieve my goals with another link. There's 4 or 5 register here links in this email.
What company was this, Corey?
Shaw Academy. And
like the University of Phoenix online.
It seems that way.
It's DeVry. What do you have to do? Walk through the door?
Is that still a thing?
If you walk into the door, Ryan, I think you get your bachelor's or something.
Isn't that a Family Guy joke? Like, oh, like my son got into DeVry. It's like, oh yeah, what do you have to do? Walk through the door?
That does seem like a Seth MacFarlane Family Guy joke. So, like, I replied back saying, I'm not interested, leave me alone. And I have since gotten 5 more emails.
Yikes.
And you click the unsubscribe link, it asks you to sign in to unsubscribe. I don't have an account.
Well played.
I'll give it
That's
your email.
That's how they get you.
I guess I'll sign up so I can unsubscribe. Now I'm 2 years into this degree and $5,000 out my bank account. So that was my headache the last 4 days.
Call to donate now.
Point to a bag today. So Ryan, why is it you miss Hooters? I sent you that little joke.
The raisins joke? Because I mean, it's not I don't miss specifically Hooters. I miss going to the States and going to Hooters.
You don't miss Canadian Hooters. That's what you're saying.
I don't miss Canadian Hooters. I miss sitting on a nice patio outside in 20-degree weather and drinking beer and eating hot wings and being fat in America.
Kevin James.
The Kevin James special.
Yeah, I basically miss being Kevin James. Oh, yeesh, we're going hard on it. Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah.
This is not about you, okay? This is about my addiction to Hooters.
The boobs and the hot wings.
That's right.
The breastaurant, if you will.
It was there the whole time. Restaurant.
Do either of you guys watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No. I don't like Andy Samberg.
I hear it's in its last season now, though, or it's.
I think everything's in its last season right now.
There's a restaurant in it called Wing Sluts, and it basically like embodies everything like those restaurants.
I'm surprised those are not like, or we're not like the first things boycotted in like.
They're falling off because of that fact.
But it's been so like they should have been falling off a long time ago. Like they should have, gone the way of Blockbuster.
Yeah, especially Hooters.
A while ago.
I was in a Hooters, like this was pre-COVID, but I was in a Hooters in Niagara with a girlfriend, obviously.
Obviously.
And like it
go
did,
there by yourself.
Yeah, it did have that kind of outdated feel to it, where it's like, yeah, I mean, like even if you want to try to hold on to this concept, you should at least try to rebrand a little,
modernize it a little bit.
Yeah, like maybe they don't have to wear the skin colored stockings anymore and all that shit. It's just not even tasteful anymore.
Well, that's a model that's been adapted by other restaurants too, right? maybe not necessarily like the tank top and the short shorts, but
Well,
just
there's
the tight outfits and the.
I don't know if it's this way anymore, but Moxie, I think Moxie's.
Yeah, I was
I
going
was
to
gonna
say.
say that's the one I was.
You had to wear heels. That's insane.
Yeah, why would you do that
Oh,
to them?
like I mean, I can't say I've ever worn heels, but I hear they're uncomfortable. Okay, I wore heels.
I felt a
Yeah,
wink.
like
I felt a wink there.
There's more to this heel story than he's letting on.
No,
Well,
but
he thought that would be good for his posture.
my sister worked there years and years ago, and she had to do the whole thing, and she explained like you had to wear heels, like they do like basically like weight check-ins like every other week, and if you put on that extra 10 pounds, you're gone. Like,
Jeez,
I don't put on 10 pounds week over week.
Just wild shit, and yeah, but that's
and that like pales in the comparison of the sexual harassment from customers.
Yeah,
I imagine.
I mean that's unfortunately the whole concept of the restaurant, right?
Yeah,
but like
part of their shtick.
I mean, if you're gonna do it that way, at least let the fucking girls be comfortable. God damn, let them wear sneakers or some shit.
Got their Jordans on.
That'd be sick, actually. I would totally go to a restaurant where they all had like nice Jordans on.
Yeah,
That sounds like a dope idea. Call it like Kicks or something like that. This is $1 million business idea, guys. We're starting Kicks. Corey, sell all your stock.
Not my GameStop stock.
Oh no, hold on to that. Actually, that's probably got to be coming down.
It's way
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
It's nothing now.
Yeah, everyone thought they were so smart. The people that sold as soon as this went
classic.
down, yeah,
Get rich quick.
yeah.
Well, no, it's because the whole thing was like them selling was gonna bring the price down. So it's like, well, if we all hold, it'll just stay high.
But yeah, right.
When are you gonna make the only time you make that money is when you sell the stock again, and then
exactly
it goes down. So it's like holding it is like there's really no reason for it.
Who's the dick that's going to be the first, and then who's the sucker that's going to be the last, basically.
Yeah, and there's a lot of suckers.
Yeah. And I think these hedge fund managers that were originally concerned about this all going on just kind of shook it off a day later, realizing it's going to come back down within, by the time they need to sell back all their stock to whomever.
It's down to 55 again.
Yeah,
but it's like,
it was like 300 at one point.
Yeah, it was really high, but
imagine buying 300, thinking this was going to keep going. God, you'd have to be a fool.
Yeah, Thanks,
Ryan.
Sorry, Cor. I hope you didn't buy it at that. Anyways, invest in Kicks. It's gonna be.
It's gonna be big.
Yeah, ladies will serve you comfortably. God forbid.
they're wearing like hoodies and sweatpants with Jordans.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'd be
yes. I don't know.
They'd be in a good mood to actually
they'd
come
be in
over.
a great mood. They'd be so much more friendlier. They'd be comfortable. The food would be better.
I'd be down for that.
Got their face masks on because of COVID.
I'll drop the business plan. I got nothing going on.
And what are we serving? Cereal?
Yeah, we'll put it under soups.
Not this again. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I'd like an extra large bowl of fruity Pebbles.
If you could find them.
Some absolute rock and roll in sweatpants and a roots sweater just hands it to you.
It's the dream, right?
Yeah, that is the dream right there.
That is the dream. I think it's called getting a wife, but I don't know. Oh, ew. Quick, play the technical difficulties.
So Ryan deems marriage is being served constantly.
Just
come on,
cereal,
man. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't do
cereal
that.
and sweatpants. That's all it is.
This is the Golden Girls thing all over again. I'm not going to let this down.
No, you're not.
No. Sometimes when you say things, like words have consequences, okay?
I know. Sorry, marriage. Yeah.
I believe
I just-
someone said words have consequences.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Mm,
I think we know where we're going with this.
yeah. Let's get into that.
So Cara Dune is Cara doomed.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Good
Don't
one.
worry about my little stinanks with the odd quip here and there. Let's talk about her. Get the spotlight off of me for a while.
And with that, Ryan, go ahead.
Gina's bad. Okay.
It's not like a Mr. Mackey.
Another
Dude's bad.
another clear instance that celebrities should just delete their Twitter account.
Like there was a time when I thought I guess companies assumed social media presence had stock in figuring out a celebrity's market share when it comes to casting and marketing purposes, but it's just gone the other way.
Oh, now it's
entirely.
a liability more than anything.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's not even
Like,
about what you believe anymore. It's just it costs too much, PR wise, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Well, I remember hearing on some other podcasts with celebrities who were talking about how they were passed up on jobs because they had 1.2 million followers less than the other person, and that person was less famous, but for some reason had a higher social media presence, so they got the job.
It's all bots.
Yeah, like
The
Like,
person
it was like
the
remember it
person
was
with less PR got it,
no person with less.
like social media
Like,
presence.
Yeah,
with
they did not get
more-
the job. But the one who did more, but they were less famous. They had done less work. They just happened to have a bigger
Yeah.
following.
Less risk, yeah.
I don't know.
And
It's
now here
like,
we are, where you run your mouth, and that's the other thing too. Like, not like the political divide that is this world, where like someone will say something, and you have these people say, "Oh yeah, it's 100% true, racist or not." Then you got to question, say, well, if this number of people think it's true, and this number of people think it's not true, do you just not believe it, or give it a pass and see where this goes afterwards? Because that kind of seems what happened here with
I think
with
it's
her,
gone
for
to the
sure.
point where I think it's gone to the point where just companies like Disney just don't want people having risque thoughts.
Because like I said to you, Ryan, I said I thought this was a non-issue because the article I read that said her contract was up. They're not continuing, and then everyone turned it into she's fired, she's canceled. Like she finished the season because this was stuff going on before even season 2 dropped. With all her,
Yeah, I think
rights.
I think this was kind of a nail in the coffin. Apparently,
I thought this was more of a like her contract was up and stuff, but she will not be considered for any future Lucasfilm stuff.
right? But that's
So,
to
like,
me. That's not
it's
that's not a
it's
firing.
yeah,
it's like if
exactly.
you,
Like,
you
yeah,
did
'cause-
you're a contract player, right? You finished your contract, you did the work. Now we're gonna go with somebody else going forward. That's not a
Yeah.
firing, but that's not how it's playing out. This is the cancel culture. She got fired because
yeah, I mean, I think
Nazis aren't as bad as people think they're.
okay. Well, let me ask you this: do you think it's going to be only restricted to LucasArts? Do you think you're going to see her in Marvel 2 or 3 years down the road? I don't think so.
Well, that's all under one umbrella, right? With
Exactly.
Disney. If she shows up in Warner Brothers, then that's a different, I guess, conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I think this just goes beyond. Oh, you're done with Lucas. With Disney's kind of grip on various media as it is, I think it's worse than a firing because I think you're just basically blacklisted from anything that Disney.
yeah, like you're going to be blacklisted from a lot of things, and I think that's where the they're canceling her thing comes from. Is like, sure, whatever. If she, just because she's not going to be working with Disney or Lucasfilm or something, it doesn't mean that she won't have other places to go. It's just going to limit all of that stuff. At the same time, she's not really making it like better for herself, I guess. Because I recently read a thing where she's going to be either doing a movie or something with like Ben Shapiro, who's like super right wing
Yeah.
conservative, and it's like, all right, like now you're just adding on to,
Yeah.
you're doubling down on your stance, which almost makes it like Lucasfilm did the right thing.
Yeah, it almost leads to believe like, okay, you're gonna start getting into this a very controversial train of
Area.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter what you say or do, we're not going to deal with like the fallout that's going to come from that.
Yeah, like people have said it's like the Kurt Cameron move. Like, he's so devout that he's like pissed off people on like in Hollywood, so he does his own thing now with very Christian movies.
Yeah.
This is, more of a put your hood on type move by her, it seems like.
It's like the other way to go.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you go this way, but then you like just blow past Kurt Cameron and
Yeah.
you're deep in the woods.
It's way too far.
Yeah. The pendulum swung way too far the way. But I hear that they've canceled Cara Dune figures and canceling pre-orders and stuff. Like they're really
you read that and tell me that it was her contract was done scenario. It's clearly
they're like, we just don't want anything to do with you from now on.
Yeah.
Sure, but who's to say in that deal that she had that there was no, you have to keep paying her money for her likeness to be used?
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Well, I mean, too, yeah,
like,
but
we don't, like, your contract's done. We actually don't need these toys because the character is not going to be prominent going forward. So we don't need to keep giving you a piece of this.
I would agree if it was, we're just gonna be not manufacturing anymore.
That's what they said.
I
They're
would
not
say
manufacturing anymore. Like,
But they're not like peeling them off the shelves and like recalling.
No, there's like they had their original order. There was pre-orders and people are ordering more, probably because of this thing. And they said they're not putting any more out, or they're not taking any more orders.
Gotcha.
That's at least how.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense then. I somewhat retract.
I think Disney's smart enough to make sure that it's not looks too far one way, because
Yeah.
they have brought James Gunn back into the fold, and
Oh, they did. I didn't hear that.
that was a while ago, man.
yeah, he's doing.
Yeah, he finished with the Suicide Squad, and that's dropping. I think March.
I remember
April
us talking about that a ways back, and
yeah, no, he's full on Guardians 3.
Good.
When and if I thought this the other day, Brian won't care as much, and it's not like a real thought. I just thought it was funny. So Endgame, we move up 5 years, right, from into 2023. That's like the whole thing after Infinity War.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it because I don't know Marvel timelines very well.
So we're now in 2021. We would have had started Phase 4 last year. All signs point to all these movies continuing to be delayed because of COVID.
Sure, yeah, makes sense.
So by the time that we jump back into these movies, it could very well be 2023.
Could be 5 years later. That's right.
So Marvel effectively have sped up time to meet their current MCU timeline.
So what you're saying is
COVID
Marvel created COVID.
Kevin Feige created COVID. I just thought of it. Just like
Kevin
they're
Feige
filming.
ate a bat one day and said, "I have a great idea."
Yeah.
This is how we will tie up the timeline.
Everyone's just like, we missed, like, it's the first time we were going to get like 3 Marvel movies in a year. You're going to do this. We're going to have all these TV shows. All that got pushed back a year. WandaVision that's going on now has said that it's Far From Home. So it's it's early 2023. We could very much be right back to Marvel movies, but in 2023, and it still be that current time. And in fact, if it's Black Widow's the first one to go with, that's set in the past.
That's right.
So, and I think Eternals is not current either.
I don't think it should be, right? Most of it should be.
So there you go. When they start filming this year for movies coming out in
Spider-Man.
2022, 2023, we effectively are going to be in 2023. It's like we've missed nothing. or everything. One of the two.
Yeah.
I don't
Do
know,
you think they'll go ahead with Black Widow in May, or
no.
only if it's going to be in theaters?
I saw somewhere that Disney has, I think, 4 weeks to figure it out, and Kevin Feige is adamant that it's not a theater straight to or simultaneous plus Disney Plus and theaters. It's either
Okay,
gonna
so
be-
he wants either all Disney
You-
Plus or all theater.
no, he wants it all theater, or you delay now, or you delay it.
Ooh, so he doesn't want it on Disney Plus at all right now.
No, he wants the $1 billion box office. That's not gonna.
He won't get it though.
I don't think he was gonna get it even with Black Widow.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say like it's not the movie that's going to get. I mean, it probably would have if it came out when it was supposed to, just riding the like coattails.
Yep.
But I don't know. Like right now, the fact that it's Black Widow, and then the fact that people don't want to sit in a theater with however many other people breathing for 2 hours.
Or it all depends on the movie that requires the breathing. Like, you
What do
want to
you
go
mean?
sit in a movie? Well, I'd see Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh no! That's what I mean. Is that isn't the type
Oh,
of
yeah.
movie that would garner that sort of like commitment. Where like that's what I mean is Black Widow's not the movie that's going to draw in the crowds. Being like, I don't care about COVID. I want to see this movie. But like, yes, absolutely. Godzilla versus Kong in IMAX. I'd be there.
I know Ryan's going.
Nah.
Yeah.
Just gonna sit there with his headphones on, listening to the '98
Yeah, the Godzilla
soundtrack.
Listening to Jimmy Page.
Yeah, like what else do you want? Ryan,
Yes.
you are ever so happy about things that change due to the times are changing and the climate and stuff. So I'm assuming you are a big fan of Pearl Mining Company original maple syrup, formerly Aunt Jemima.
Oh, is it not called Aunt Jemima anymore?
No.
I would have
Hasn't
thought.
been for a while.
Really? I still see it on the shelf.
Yeah, this now it is officially
Yeah.
they're phased it out because
Okay.
it's racist. And now we got this one that rolls right off the tongue. Pearl Milling Company original pancakes.
Okay.
Mix and syrup.
All right, okay. I mean, yeah. I don't think I'll ever just be attached to the Aunt Jemima name enough to even feign to have this debate. Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay, what about like this syrup, whether it's Pearl Milling Company or Aunt Jemima,
If it's on sale, I'll buy it.
versus real maple syrup?
Oh, I mean, real maple syrup all day. But that's always been the case.
Exactly. That's the thing
Yeah.
is I know that like this has been a thing that's like popped up, for a while now. And I remember when it first came out, I was like, yeah, like that wasn't the reason why I wasn't buying Aunt Jemima syrup in the first place.
No. Oh God, no.
Like-
I mean, is like I dare I say it. I just wasn't living in a world where I was even considering that a factor.
Yeah.
And I bought it. I wasn't like, oh, like I might be racist if I bought this syrup. Like, I don't know. I bought it because it was delicious. I don't care what name was on it. Like
Or
it went
TJ.
on my Egos. What do you want from me?
Man, I haven't had Eggos in so long.
Me neither. And I mean,
God.
I think that's another big reason why I'm not super big on table syrup or maple syrup, depending on the occasion. But it's just a hell of a lot of sugar.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I mean, and like I used to eat Egos for breakfast, like almost every day.
Every day. It's so
Like,
good.
And then you realize, like, I should not be eating this at all.
Yeah, not just for breakfast every day,
Yeah.
not even for breakfast once a month.
No.
But it's so good. Oh my god!
no.
Now I want Eggos.
There's been times where I've craved like an Eggo, a handful of times. It's like, why don't I just go get real waffles? Like, I don't know, it's not the same.
No, it definitely isn't the same.
Yeah.
I think there might be some Eggos in my future.
Yeah, maybe one. Just
Just for a taste.
Just
First one's
I don't
free,
want the
Ryan.
whole thing. I just want a taste.
as other customers look at me weird as I go up to pick up the Aunt Jemima table strap. Fine, I'll wait. Put it down.
Shame.
You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna go for the Aunt Jemima. It's gonna be called pearl milling, and you're not gonna know what the hell it is, and you're gonna be just
Yeah,
on the ground shaking, looking, praying for Aunt Jemima, and you can't find it anywhere.
No,
Store
it'll be in
managers
that.
have to come down.
It'll be in that transition phase where there's Aunt Jemima and Pearl Milling,
Oh,
and it'll be
yeah.
like that
And you have to like make the
ketchup
decision.
catsup
Catsup,
thing.
Yeah.
Ketchup catsup.
What's going on with that man, sir? I don't know. He just keeps talking to the syrup bottles.
Aunt Jemima, Pearl Milling Company original.
What about Mrs. Butterworth? Is Mrs. Butterworth fair game, or did they cancel her too?
Nah, I think
I
it was
think she's fine.
Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. Those were the two.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Uncle Ben.
They're killing him off like Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's food.
Okay, no, hold on. It says the makers of Uncle Ben's rice and Mrs. Butterworth syrup have joined Aunt Jemima in
Oh,
pledging
so
to
Mrs.
review.
Butterworth is out too.
Well, we don't know what this. I'm just reading this. This is from
Oh man.
June 2020. But it says they're going to review their long-standing brand / image.
Oh, so it's not. It's not.
So
final.
it's not like, I mean,
I don't know. Where did Mrs. Butterworth come from? Like, is it also like? This doesn't sound like it's from like, you know.
I feel like Mrs.
Orient.
Butterworth it's more about the like shape of the bottle than the name.
Junk in that trunk.
True.
You know, like that. I'm pretty sure that's got to be part of it.
Yeah. Like, what's thicker, the syrup or the bottle?
Yep.
That's the thing.
Pancake fans need to know: is Mrs. Butterworth white?
Otherwise, you can't have pancakes.
I don't know.
Is he digging deeper into Mrs. Butterworth, or
No, I'm already over it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole. I'm already on thin ice with the sweatpants marriage comment. Everybody gets one.
yeah, gone are the days of the heels, the skirts, and the highball when you walk through the door, Ryan. It's all about your fruity pebbles. And the wife is in you.
There's that episode of American Dad where he wants like the freshly shaken martini and all that jazz that they got in the 50s, the newspaper.
And how does it work? How does it work out for him in that episode?
I think it has ironic consequences.
Oh, then I think I saw that one.
Oh, then I've seen that one already.
It's crazy to think that that's how life like
Used to be.
just went, right?
Yeah.
Ryan, you and I have talked about that before, like really in depth on how insane that was, how it was, and how no one thought it would be anything like it is today.
No, yeah, I mean those are just the reflection of the times.
I wonder if you think about it though, just like the man went to work, woman was home. That I can understand switching like the gender roles, but just as kids being able to leave your house, like fuck off for like the day, and somehow make it home in time for dinner, like without a scratch on you, and no one trying to throw you in the back of a panel van.
even if you did have a scratch on you, it was like,
Yeah, you sucked it up
like,
and you were
yeah,
like-
you sucked it up, and you're like, oh,
Oh, you scamp.
next time I
Yeah,
won't try and
they-
jump that hill.
I read
Like,
it. I read it somewhere. Like the psychology behind it is, it's almost actually necessary for kids to get out and hurt themselves a little bit and get dinged up and stuff to a kind of acknowledge their own limitations, because that's the only way you'll learn, right? Like that's the only way you'll learn what your limits are, by you know trying to break them or trying
Yeah.
to get as close to them as possible. And that, and like preparing them for real life in terms of maybe the less physical dangers, but the emotional and the mental dangers, things that you're going to come across throughout your life, and kind of toughen you up that way. So all these kids, like especially now that are in quarantine, and it's video games all day, and this was already a problem pre-COVID, but it's kind of exacerbated now. Like these kids aren't going to have a fucking idea what to do with themselves when they become young adults.
I heard someone, I think it may have been on with Bill Maher, saying that there is a good chance that coming out of COVID, that we may be in a world where people were more likely to put the phone down and have an actual interaction and conversation with somebody, because right now
they
we
haven't
can't.
had it in so long.
Yeah, like you can't, like you can talk to someone like we are right now in separate houses via screens, but to sit with someone and talk to them without having to look into a monitor, having to have a earpiece in.
I'd like to live in that world.
People might actually do that, and kids might want to do that too, because as you're saying, is like they're so glued to, homeschooling on a screen or playing a video game or with their tablets that they see another kid, they might want to run off and do whatever. It's almost at the point
I think they're going to have the desire. I just don't think they're going to have the capability. Because here's a prime example. How did, and don't get me wrong, I'm still bad at this, but how did we as guys learn how to talk to girls?
I still don't know. I'm
Yeah,
55. I still have no fucking clue.
I still don't know, but from a generic standpoint, it was you went to the school dances when you were in middle school. You eventually
I did, and I hung out with my friends and talked to no girls.
Yeah, my talking to girls stuff happened so late in the game. Like, that was bad.
I would say for you mean just talking outside of we got paired for this assignment, so therefore we have to converse, or
a computer made
like
friends. But anyways,
because that was me.
Anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is that there were those mechanisms in place that were at least there to try to attempt to promote that. You're going to have absolutely nothing to work on now besides talking to girls on phones.
Yeah, it's
right.
But
we also
how do I send a meme in real life?
Yeah,
what we have now is we have kids who, because of their phones, are far more forward than we'd ever be. It's like, hey, how are you? And then there's a dick pic sent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to live in that world, but
I don't want to get dick pics, Ryan.
I don't want to ever catch my son sending dickies to. Well, that'll be
like those worker overalls.
not those. Dickies,
wait,
not Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, why do you have a Mark's workhouse bag with you?
Yeah.
Are you planning to send that to someone?
I hope not.
What? Sharon wants to borrow my coveralls, Dad. Not on my watch, boy.
Yeah.
Go to your room.
You go up there and you play Call of Duty until you learn the lesson.
And you like it.
But Dad, I don't want to hear nothing. I paid $69.95 for that Xbox Live membership. You were going to use it. Yeah, no, I don't. Truthfully, I never really thought of anything and having a deep, meaningful sort of conversation with Ashley until I was... Which I found out now was
until you're married to her.
No, well, sometimes. I thought nothing of it until I was told by Juliet that she says, "Oh, I think she likes you." So I was led to believe.
Oh yeah, you kind of had to be spoon-fed the information.
Yeah,
I've been
but
there.
then I found out that was not true at all. So I was all false pretenses.
Yeah.
But I think the other problem what we're having now is because we live in a world where people are shielded from rejection, like almost at every corner.
Yeah.
With participation trophies,
Ugh, the worst.
being reaffirmed by posting stuff on social media, that we just like you're not gonna learn the tools to.
This generation does not take rejection well.
No, not at all. Like, just look at.
Yeah, I
how
was just
things
gonna.
go.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, look at
74
the-
million people voted. Okay, well, 80 people voted. 80 million voted
other way.
The other way, and 5 people are dead because of it. Like, this is like, no one handles rejection like you're supposed to. Back in the day, someone said, like, I always like to think that the worst someone can say is no. But you still don't want to hear
not
it.
true. Yeah. There's so many other things.
People still don't want to hear it. Like, you apply for a job and like, okay, well, like you go into the interview or whatever, you don't get it, you move on. But there's people, people don't do that no more. That's why we have Bell Let's Talk Day.
That's right.
We actually need we need a special day to like get all our kind of
Like the
conversation
purge.
out of the way. Yeah, it is. It's
like purge, but emotions.
yeah, purge but emotion.
Emotional
right?
purge.
There's no emotional crime this day.
I should have an emotional purge. Actually, it's, that's like divorce court.
Is divorce court
Yeah.
an emotional purge?
Well, you get your heart ripped out, right? When you lose your home and your kids and...
I always think of that the start of Wedding Crashers when I think of divorce court. You lock it up.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
That was good.
It's wedding season. Speaking of locking up, that's just some great irony about that Bruce Springsteen story, eh?
Oh no, what's this? Are they ruining Bruce Springsteen now too?
Well, he was in that Super Bowl commercial for Jeep, and then they pulled the commercial because he got pulled over for a DWI.
Nice, atta boy, Bruce.
Well,
Was it in a Jeep? Because that would be hilarious.
that would be.
No, it wasn't at a Jeep.
Yeah, in a Camionero.
Well,
So they pulled the commercial like during the Super Bowl.
no, it was after its report surfaced that in November he had a DWI.
Driving home from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's more on the fault of the company where they kind of should have did their due diligence.
Well, I heard later too, like he got pulled over for a DWI, but he blew below the legal limit.
Oh, it's
So
one of those
it's-
things where he got a warning, but let's be real, it's not a warning kind of thing.
Canceling the
Shouldn't have
boss.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one thing I've never liked about DWI or just the whole like system where it's like, oh well, this is kind of a gray area where it's like a maybe, and this is definitely yes. But if you're anywhere in between, like yeah, we call it a warning, but it's not. Like you're getting many points off your license and paying a severe fine. It's like
It's not like that official. No. You're over this limit.
You keep using that word warning. I don't think it means what you think. Anyways, Bruce, I'm sorry, man. Sorry, you got your Jeep commercial pulled because you got a warning. Seems more or less of a warning and more of a punishment to me.
Well, he is the boss.
Bet he wishes he can go back to the glory days.
While he was dancing in the dark. Guess that's what happens when you're born in the USA.
Okay, we got like one more. I think that's all. I think that's all the Bruce Springsteen songs I know. Did anyone watch the weekend Super Bowl halftime?
I
No.
did.
It was.
I never watched the Super Bowl.
I really liked the weekend, so I was.
I also really liked the weekend.
I was fine with it.
Oh, I was like,
I'm-
it's average. I was not.
Well, yeah, I was just like, that's been. I've never. I don't know. People get all hyped up about halftime shows and stuff.
I
but
don't think you'll
for
ever
me-
top Prince singing "Purple Rain" in the rain.
No, I think that was arguably like the last good Super Bowl performance.
You can't write that stuff.
Mine's
It rained while he was singing "Purple Rain."
Mine is like my thing is like I don't know about you guys, but I was never big into watching like music videos.
No, I never
And,
understood the
like,
purpose of watching those.
exactly. Like, I wanted to hear the song. I didn't
Yeah.
care about the performance.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
I don't think I cared about the video, but I still watched the videos to hear the songs. That makes
exactly right. It's
Yeah, but then,
if
like,
it was
sometimes
on,
this,
but
the video has a different version of the song, or there's like a long gap.
yeah.
Was
Thanks,
it
thanks, Michael Jackson.
any was it that Meatloaf song? Anything for Love, and it's like 11 minutes because half of it there's like fuck all going on.
Oh, yeah, there's
the
like a-
actual song.
When
Oh,
were
this is
you
a story
watching
being
music
told?
videos?
yeah.
Pop up
Oh,
video,
no, but,
man.
like,
Pop up video.
How old are you?
that's where I was kind of like, I didn't mind the halftime show because I was like, I just like all these songs, and I
Yeah.
was just
You're
there
getting,
listening
you're
to
getting the
songs. Like,
quick version of it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm hearing the best parts of all of the best songs. I don't care. I don't care about the theatrics of it all.
That's fair. If you're taking it from that approach, I say you would enjoy it more.
Yeah, because like for me, what I got out of it is like 17 different memes, and the music. But like, I don't. I was.
Was there
yeah,
memes? Was there another left shark scenario?
No, well, no, just the whole like.
It's a beginning, right, with like the close up with the camera.
Yeah, the close up with the camera.
That one you see everywhere.
And it's like, looking at your phone after a night out, like getting blackout drunk and stuff. And then the one where
can't find like your way out of IKEA or something.
Yeah, can't find like 6-year-old can't find his mom in the grocery store, and it's like that whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know, all the other performances, like who was there last year? It was
that the Jennifer Lopez year was last year?
There's Shakira and J-Lo.
Right.
And then was there something wrong with me saying Jennifer Lopez, Ryan?
He's like, I don't know who that is. And then
how dare you
before? It was like Katy Perry, stuff like that. Like, all those things. It was just like
Maroon 5, I think, was the year before.
Yeah, there's just a lot of like over the top stuff, and I was like, it's.
I remember the Maroon 5 one because A, everybody thought it was a terrible choice. B, everybody thought they were terrible. And C, everyone after Adam Levine for not having her shirt on when they were all shitting over Janet Jackson. That was the only things I remember about the Maroon 5 halftime show. It's like, oh, you give Janet Jackson shit for her boob popping out, and Adam Levine can be there shirtless the entire time.
Yeah, where's the equality in that?
Yeah, and fucking wardrobe malfunction. That's like the worst terminology in the history of terminology.
I think it got coined at like literally that.
It did because of that.
Yeah. I don't think wardrobe whoever coined that term, like in some marketing department, he's rich now.
Oh yeah, he's
on his yacht.
Yeah.
Hope we trademark that shit.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
So no, I never watched the Super Bowl or halftime show, but it turned out just like I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
The best storyline wins again. Tom Brady.
I don't know, man. Like I watch it. I don't watch a lot of football, as you guys know. I watched the first Browns game of the season, and then
which sometimes ends up being the last Browns game of the season because they
cheer them on, and then I'm like, all right, I can't do this anymore. And then we'll try it again next year. And then I watched the Super Bowl, but I'm like, I had a feast in front of me this year. It was fantastic. But while I was watching, I was like, wow, these refs are making a lot of calls that I was like, like maybe let them play a little bit. But then also the who is it? What team did? Oh, the Buccaneers defense was like pretty good. Like they were not letting Mahomes do anything.
Yeah,
he was getting a lot of I couldn't. But there was so many times where he was just getting chased down and then somehow almost made a throw out of it. Like on his way down, getting tackled, he was still able to toss a ball in the general direction of one of his teammates. And I was like, how do you like so many people can't even do that when there's no obstacles in their way.
Yeah, he would pull off these wild throws when.
I couldn't believe it. The one where he was like falling sideways and did like a sidearm, what's his name, Johnson, like pitch,
Yeah,
and then the guy like it like bonked off his helmet. I'd be like, how do you not catch that after I make a throw like that?
yeah, he really tried. He really did.
Oh, football.
Oh,
Sports.
football.
Sports
ball.
ball.
Talk about that local sports team.
Man. You see the Vegas Golden Knights golden buckets, their helmets?
Yeah, I saw this tonight actually.
What the hell is that about?
I mean, I've seen worse. It's not like bad. It's not great.
Well, like their farm team has like chrome ones, so like that's probably the extent I would do. Or even if they made them gold but not like shiny like that.
Yeah.
It's just too in your face. Too
Metallic.
up in your grill. Yes. Yes, it is.
What do you guys think of the ads on the side of the helmets? I noticed that this
That doesn't
year.
bother me.
I mean,
I thought it
could
would.
go without them, but it's not the end of the world. I'd be happier if they weren't there, but whatever you got to do, I guess. I just
Yeah,
worry that it's going to end up.
they have
like
to recoup
soccer
that.
one day.
They have to recoup that lost revenue from ticket sales somehow.
Yeah, that's true. And if that's how they're going to do it, then fine.
But then the question is, once they get those ticket sales back, do they leave the ads there?
Yeah, probably.
And
I
then
think
now
they
they're
do.
double dipping.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
they're,
think
they're
they
definitely
do because they're not intrusive like a jersey ad would be.
Yeah.
I think I just think of like soccer jerseys where it's like, oh yeah, the crest is literally 2 inches big on the chest, and like
Yeah.
Team
The rest of it.
yeah, Team Chevrolet is playing like Team, Fly Emirates.
See, I think the reason why they'll stay is because the NHL has introduced like now a 4 jersey system, almost to the extent of what the NBA is doing. So that is 4 opportunities for ads on different helmets for each jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Because there's some teams that have different ads on their home, like the Senators have a home ad and then the away ad. Not like
They're both
Toronto.
Scotia,
Yeah,
though, aren't they? It's Scotia. For...
Canadian Tire for
Canadian
the
Tire
road,
for-
and Bell at
yeah.
home. Yeah.
Oh, Sens does have Bell, eh?
Yeah.
Ah.
But that makes sense to have their like home stuff or even just local things if they had like an Ottawa based sponsor
Yeah.
to do that as their home one.
There was talk a time ago that they were going to do digital board ads. So you'd have the ads on the boards, which you would see if you attended a game, but then when you were watching it home, depending on the telecast, you would have other
They
national
do
sponsors.
that with some already. That does exist already.
Yeah, but this was going to be like for regional broadcasts as well, but that didn't really. And I think they morphed it to now it's on the glass, not the board. And I was watching. I was watching the Capitals and Penguins yesterday, and they actually had just over the blue line at different points of the games they would change. They'd have ads on the ice.
I was going to say, I'm
what they
surprised
do-
that they
what
don't
they
have
do
it
with-
on the ice.
Yeah, it's similar idea what they have at the NBA on the court.
Yeah.
So it's just over like when they at the beginning of the year of the playoffs where it says like Stanley Cup playoffs or Face Off 2021 or whatever. They have like this one was like a Capital One ad, or another one was advertising another upcoming game, the Lake Tahoe game, which I think is in a couple weeks.
Do you think that, do you think that makes a big deal, makes a big difference for the players? Like, if you're at home and you're used to seeing your, logo in the middle with certain, like where it says, Eastern Conference Finals or Stanley Cup Finals or something like that, do you think that makes a difference? Or if they just had 30, how many teams are there? 32, 31?
There'll be 32 next year.
32.
comes the
So
fall.
32 and everyone, it's all just a blank sheet of ice and all of the logos for TV and home and away and all that kind of stuff just get projected onto it, like for TV. if they just had a blank sheet of ice that had the,
Just
the red
face-off
lines,
circles and,
yeah, face off circle, like just the necessary lines and dots, and then if everything else, like their home logo, um, anything like that, was just like green screened on, or is it something that maybe they're like they take pride in seeing that their
No,
logo is in the middle of?
yeah, I think they would. It would be something because I think even if like when you're at your practice rink, like they have rink board ads, they have shit on the ice. Like you're everywhere you go that you're seeing the ice or the arena sold for parts, right, for the highest
Yeah.
bidder. So I think if you walked into go into your sheet of ice at home and there was nothing but a blank circle, and I think people probably would
Like it would be
get
jarring.
used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, at
It would be
first.
jarring. It'd be weird.
Because I was just thinking, like, because I've been watching a lot more basketball than I have hockey, but I was just like, there's so many, if they could just have a generic court and then just overlay
Whatever
digitally
they want.
what it's supposed to say, like, because I mean, I guess with basketball, it's just the logo, right? That's everything else is even colors of like free throw, not free throw line, but like the key and stuff like that to match their team colors. If they just had, you know, a digital thing where it shows up red because it's the Raptors home court versus, gold for the Lakers or something like that, then they could just have generic wood panels that are there instead of having to like swap it out
Swap it out.
specifically.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like that argument is also, I guess, kind of falls into line with like football coverage. Like the football field is the same for everybody. It's got white lines with the numbers on it. But when you're watching it, if Green Bay's going on a drive, the colors they use for showing where like
The first and 10.
the first down, it's
Yeah.
it's green and gold. If it's Detroit, it's blue and silver. So yeah, I guess that it's just a matter of implementation at this point. If they actually decide to, let's just save some
that
money
around.
Yeah.
and have a generic court that we're going to use for the Raptors
You're
when they play
everywhere.
here. When the Harlem Globetrotters come in town, we're just going to use our generic court because we're just doesn't matter what's on there.
Yeah.
If we have like the CIS basketball, we just
Yeah, because
That's it.
everyone use, as long as the court dimensions are the same, right? As long as it's not like a NHL hockey rink versus international or anything like
Yeah.
that, it doesn't matter what stage of the or which which round of the playoffs you're in. It doesn't matter if it's the All-Star game or any special thing. It's just that sheet of ice. You bring in the ice as you do instead of having to swap out certain sections for different logos and stuff like that.
I think the ice will probably be the first place where that goes because like when they have like a Disney and ice or something that at an arena, they have to rip up all the stuff that's on the ice.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be a clean sheet, and then they got to paint it all again. Bring out their stencils and their protractors and and draw the faces on all the people. But yeah, that's what it's gonna be something to see with as technology takes off. And like augmented reality is what's feeding all this happening. You have the ads on the glass and projected on the ice, and
Yeah.
because the NBA is
I
like that
guess
too.
I guess the other thing is for just because I haven't been to a game in a while, but if you're at the game, they would want some sort of physical ad thing on the ice or on the board or something like that. I didn't really
Yeah.
think of it that way. I was just thinking of because I've just been watching like so many sports games where the ads keep changing, and I'm like, why not just do that for the logo or this color or that color? But then it makes sense because if I went to a Raptors game, I would want I don't know I think I would want that key to be red, to like be
Yeah.
painted red and stuff like that. So yeah, now I'm like,
You know what?
Maybe I've
Forget
changed
what
my
I
own
said
mind
the
on
last 10
this.
minutes.
Yeah,
You know what? I've convinced me.
yeah. just cut that last part out.
Yeah, excellent point.
Yeah.
Me, you have sold me on this idea that it should not work. Have more in-person things for when you can actually go see things in person.
Because yeah, it's not like we're gonna be wearing. It's not like all of us are gonna be having AR glasses anytime soon, as a full-time thing. So
You don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty in the know.
If there's anyone knows, it's you. And if not, you'll convince yourself otherwise.
Exactly. Hold on, just give me 3 minutes to talk to myself. I'll come on to the other side.
Well, I got over to call. There's Michelle, special guest Michelle. So you see, they're doing a Velma series on HBO Max
Yeah.
to really delve into the secret origin of Velma.
Much more excited about the Clone High stuff.
Come again?
Oh.
What?
They
So
are-
Clone High is
yeah.
coming back, right?
No,
Because
way.
nothing,
Yeah.
Yes.
everything that's over is coming back.
That's the
Everything
best
that's good
news
must
I've
come back.
heard all pandemic. That is
All
not an
this-
exaggeration.
All this episode of
Yeah.
the show.
Oh, this whole minute. I don't know how close it is. It's just that they're working on it. It's not like
Everything
it's
is-
next month or anything like that.
that's-
But
that's
everything
fine.
is yeah,
Oh man, I
Everything's-
have to rewatch the first season now. That's
everything's
awesome.
coming soon.
But no, the reason why I brought it up is that when they announced the Velma thing and that Mindy Kaling was going to be voicing Velma, there was
Backlash.
immediate out. Well, somebody tweeted that, I guess in reply, a GIF from The Office. It was this one.
Michael Scott going no.
Oh
Yeah. So, and it's gonna be her, this show starring her, and he's like, no, and then Mindy chimed in with, I wrote that episode of The Office where this GIF is from. Just
Yeah.
to clap back. I thought that was good. Good on her.
I feel like if anything,
Take that man down.
if anything, I would have posted the when it's like, does anyone have any questions? And then Kelly's like,
question.
yeah, I have a question. How dare you?
First of all,
Yeah,
how
I
dare
have a
you?
lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
I also like that one in the when she says some like how she's pregnant, and then it just cuts to
Yeah. It's so good.
just a well-timed cut. With no
I think
words.
I don't know if it was her or someone else that had recently posted something, but it was like a picture of Mindy Kaling, and it was like, felt cute, might tell Ryan I'm pregnant later. I don't know. And then there was the rehashing every year of Ryan pulling his hair out, being like,
for Valentine's Day.
I hooked up with her on February 13th.
Which right, I think that
Which I'm
you
pretty
did do
sure
that, right?
happened to Ryan, right?
It did.
Yeah.
Now that Valentine's Day is over, let's bring up this gem of information.
Yeah.
So what was the story there again?
I can't remember who it was, but I know it was around that time, and we were joking about it at the box office. I couldn't tell you who it was.
I don't care who it was. I just want to know
Yeah.
the story behind it.
Yeah, no, it was
we
definitely.
don't need names. We need
I,
details.
No, but it was literally that. Like, I hooked up with some girl, and it was literally like the day before Valentine's Day, and almost immediately V pulled up that.
Yeah, I'm like, I got it.
Yeah.
Life imitating
Had to
art.
happen. That was too good.
So much joy from your mishaps, Ryan.
Try to entertain. I try to.
Yeah.
Man, that's so good. It's just one of those things you can't write.
No.
Well, they did write it.
They did.
I mean, they did.
For you, Ryan, you can't make that shit up.
I can't make that stuff up.
And now, life.
Life.
Yeah. We get to go outside tomorrow, unless the snow kills us.
I'm not going outside tomorrow. Screw that.
But you have you have the ability to go out.
I have the
Is what I'm
freedom.
saying. The freedom.
They gave me back my freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's like when the house falls on the witch and the Wizard of Oz and the munchkins come out.
Yeah.
You know,
Freedom.
freedom isn't free, Michelle.
Am I the munchkin or am I the witch? So confused.
The Witchkin.
The witchkin.
Which they're remaking, by the way. They haven't
I
said
saw that.
I'm less excited about that and more excited about Clone High.
As we all should be.
Like, can we get mad about things getting remade if they're in public domain?
Anyways, here's London Bridges falling down.
To close out the show. Speaking of which, let's close out the show. I think I'm gonna like throw in like closing music on the audio just for my own laugh, because I was going through a bunch of files I had on my Google Drive trying to free up some space, and I don't know if it was from our old podcast or I just never pulled the trigger, but it's like wrap up music type thing from like a new show.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna throw that in. So
From
when
the
we
Oscars.
actually listen, when you listen to this, you'll hear it as the show ends, just for fun. So
Stay classy, San Diego.
yeah, I should get like a stack of paper and like shuffle it as like and lean back as the camera pans out. So that is open caller for this episode for Michelle and Ryan. This is Corey reminding you to keep it